Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and we are officially started. We're going to give ourselves about another 2 minutes to get anybody on here, and then we will be checking any kind of the comments in the meantime. Let's jump over to here. All right. If you guys can hear me well, I got my new microphone. Check this out. Very nice. Getting my setup better and better every day. We got another 1 minute before we get started. Okay, we got about 1 more minute. And we're going to be going over all the deals that I find in Frisco today that look good to me. Any kind of comments you guys have, and I will respond to them before we get started. If you guys want to wait till the end, if you guys, I will be doing answering all the comments at the very end if you guys are not answering or doing them now. Okay, and it's 8:30. Let's get started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the live stream. I have a couple of my investors that are getting a little scared to invest in Dallas right now. There's no actual official banning in Dallas, and so don't be scared yet, but just in case, they're getting prepared to go into other markets. And so today we're going to be talking about one of those other markets. Frisco is a very, hey, got my first comment. Thank you. You look good. All right, I'm gonna do most of the chat. I'm gonna be replying to most of the questions in chat at the very end of this. So just be patient if you guys want to watch the whole thing. It should be about a 20-30 minute video. But yeah, so I want to go check out other markets that could be good for my investors, and I researched all the bylaws over in Frisco for what they can do and they can't do in the Airbnb realm. And it looks like a pretty Airbnb friendly city as long as you do certain things, like do hot taxes, which is hotel taxes, and then pay the city and just have registration and have contact information for them to reach out to if anything bad happens. And so the city itself is not anti-Airbnb. So we can make some money over there. Now the difficulty is that you're having to pay a little more to be in the city because you're paying more to the city and the hotel taxes, and so you have to make a little bit more of a profit to make it make sense. And the downside is that the profit isn't as there in Frisco as it was or is in Dallas. In Dallas, we can do a $500,000 to $600,000 house, and then we can make $7,000 to $10,000 pretty easily. Whereas in Frisco, if you buy a $500,000 to $600,000 house, we're making around $5,000 to $7,000. So if your mortgage and your holding costs and everything is about $4,000, after like $4,000 to $4,500, depends if you do management or not, then you're only really making $500 to $1,000 profit. I don't think that's that big of a deal. I think that anytime that you can be in a market and you can make money, then that's the kind of market you need to be in. So let's look at some of these homes right now. I have them pulled up, and we will show you right now. So some of these homes are the ones that I would personally buy if I was buying a home in Frisco right now. So the most important thing for you to realize when you do this is that you got to have an exit strategy. Just like what I've said in all my old videos, if Frisco decides to ban Airbnb, you have to have an exit strategy. The homes like these in Frisco, They go for around $1.50 to $1.70 per square foot. There are some that are a little over $2 per square foot in this area, but the closer you get and further above $2 per square foot you get for long-term rentals, the less likelihood is in the future you'll have the ability to cash flow on it for long-term rentals. So right now we're looking at a $1.95 is what this would rent for if this was renting, hopefully for a 1% return. So if you get that 1% rule, you'll be closer to, if not for sure, cash flowing on your property at least $1 or $100. And so right now we have this at $195, or if it was renting, $1.95. Let's take a look at this. The main thing in this area is you want to have something that has a 4-bedroom, preferably with the pool. The ones with the pool can make up to $10,000 a month. There's some making over $300,000 a year, but our goal is to get 6 figures, $70,000 to $100,000 a year, for it to at least cash flow some for you. So it's important for us to do in 2,500 square foot and up range is really where those higher producers are. 3,000 is even better. You want to try to get 5 to 6 bedrooms. Right now we have 4. So this is not going to look like what you would see as a $10,000 property. This is more in that 5 to 7 range. And the difference between 5 to 7 all has to do with you and how you build it out. If you want to renovate it at all, if you want to make it look nicer, if you want to put really cool stuff in there and make people want to come. And so it's been on the market for 15 days. Let's look at some pictures. And so this is the house right here. You can tell by the inside the flooring is nicer. They still have the popcorn ceilings, unfortunately. But the kitchen's not bad. The popcorn ceilings, to get rid of those, aren't that bad. I call these boob lights. If you see these like boob lights, and I call these lightsabers. They just look like, I don't know, they can cut through metal. And so if you replace these boob lights and then get some nice can lights from my buddy Lewis. My buddy Lewis Perez, if you guys need can lights, he does them right above cost. And so almost wholesale prices. And so they're not that expensive, and they're not super terribly difficult to install. You have yourself a full-on living room area, and then you have a secondary dining room. So you can do this as it looks like maybe an 8-top, and so you can do an 8-top table in there. I wouldn't change the layout too much. The layout as they currently have it is about what I would do as well. The bedrooms I would paint some walls, or I'd do something more fancy with the walls. This looks, if this was on Airbnb, it would not rent for top dollar, just because it looks very bare bones. I mean, maybe at least put some kind of rug under here to separate the carpet with the bed. Just do something with the walls to make it look a little better. Replace this fan for sure. These are kind of a killer. So the only way that you can make these work is if you go with a gold and white theme in your house, or you replace this. So if your bedroom itself is gold and white, then this could work. It's just unfortunate that you have these green tiles, because the green tiles really don't do anything for the property. This bedroom is pretty basic, but it looks like they work from home, so that's cool. Looks like you can fit 2 beds in this room. You really want to try to maximize the amount of beds you can fit in a room without being ridiculous about it. I mean, I get ridiculous sometimes. Some of my clients be like, there's a big closet, can I put a bed in here? And so you don't always have to put a bed everywhere, but try to maximize the beds. In this room, this is another 2-bedroom room. So you have 2 rooms so far that you can put 2 beds in. And then 2 rooms you can put 1 bed in. And so it would be this is actually the landing. Interesting. Okay. Well, you can turn upstairs landing into a bedroom. I don't know. I would probably turn that into entertainment area. Big old TV with some couches and chairs. Backyard has a lot to be desired. it's not as sexy as we'd want for a Frisco property. That's why I think if unless you put money into the backyard, you're gonna put 10 to 20, $30,000 in the backyard. It's not gonna be top dollar. But this property could be a $5,000 a month earner. So if you have a $500,000 home, $5,000 on Airbnb, then you're still going to cash flow. You're not going to be rich, but you're going to cash flow. And that's a good way to get started into real estate investing, is get into Airbnb, get some hundreds if not thousands of dollars into your bank account, and then one day whenever you build up your fifth home by doing this, your first one you can put for long-term rent, and you buy another Airbnb, and your second home you put for long-term rent, and so forth and so forth and so forth. And because the profit margins for what you could get in rent to what you could get on Airbnb are going to be so close at that point that it might as well just be you might as well just take the no risk, super low maintenance, long-term rental route. And that's what I'm about to do. I'm transitioning some of my properties into long-term rentals because the difference between the Airbnb income and the long-term rental income is very, very, very small. After management fees and stuff like that. And now if I have to pay these taxes and hot taxes. Okay, so here's the next one. I really like this one. This one's a corner lot, so you're gonna have a lot of parking for people to come in. And it's $500,000, and you're still under that $2 per square foot price range if you were to rent it out long term. Now rents are constantly gonna go up, as you probably have seen. Rents in Dallas have gone up around like 10 to 15% year over year. In some areas even more than that. Austin, it was like over 50% in certain areas year over year. And so with this being around $1.50, $1.70, maybe $1.80 in this area, and this being just under $2, you're really close. I mean, you could probably buy this right now and put it on the market, and I'd have to look at the numbers, but off the top of my head, I mean, it could be close. You probably won't profit with the way things are right now with the interest rates, but you'd be very close. And so let's throw it on Airbnb for a few years, let those rents go up a little bit, and then you can put this on to the rental whenever it gets up to what you'll get up to like $4,000 a month for rental, maybe $5,000 or so a month, and then you'll be good. Okay, so let's take a look at this property. It's 2,500 square feet, and I think this one is much better than the previous one. When you look inside, you can convert a garage, which would be always a really cool thing. You can turn that into a game room, ping pong, foosball, stuff like that. The inside looks pretty marketable. You have this area right here as soon as you walk in, and then you have this whole open area that you can turn into a big old, like big TV downstairs. You can do stadium seating or multiple rows. Probably not. Just this could be like the game room for like the football game and stuff like that. If people want to come in and watch the football game because they're here for the star or whatever it happens to be. But then you have this room right here, and it's like, wow, that's a lot of space now. You can turn this into a really long 12-seater table. Replace the fan, obviously, and then do something nice above here. You don't have to put a TV, but you can put something. Maybe if it's a cheap TV, you can do just one of those moving art things. Because sometimes TVs are significantly cheaper than just art pieces. And so you can just buy like a 40-inch for $200-300 and then put it on this revolving display. And so you put that in there and you do something nice on the wall and put some plants here and there, and then this would look pretty nice. Maybe do something with wallpaper, or you can do something with some creative paint, things like that. Kitchen looks decent, and you have a little tiny round table in the kitchen. This looks like it can be a bedroom that can fit. It would be tight. You probably put one bed in there. You could potentially put two, but probably one bed. Kitchen looks pretty basic, but whatever. All these homes in Frisco that do 5 to 7 have a similar kitchen. That needs to go. That can really make your listing look very cheap. That is a one bedroom, or that is a one bedroom, barely a one bed room. Nice closet though. Cool bathroom. I would replace these. These would look really cheap for your Airbnb listing. replace this. You know, I would replace this too. You do like an oval, nice gold rim, bronze rim, and this is silver, so probably a silver rim mirror. These things are not expensive, by the way. Very easy to replace. This carpet is trash, but if you do a nice, really bold, powerful rug, you can put a rug in here and make it look a lot more sexy. Do something with these walls though. This whole thing of all you guys that do Airbnb listings and you put white walls everywhere, no one wants white walls. You know who wants white walls? People in hospitals, people in mental institutions. They want white walls. Do something different. I don't know. Anything different. Brought to you by Bulletproof Coffee. When you need a kick to your step, get Bulletproof. This was probably a one bedroom as well. A one bed room. Up here, I like these landings. I always prefer homes that have upstairs landings because you can do so much with it. You don't necessarily need another TV area up here. You can put a TV on the wall right over in on this wall over here, which you can't see. How do I show you that? My streaming service does not let you see the entire edge, but oh well. Oh, here you go. There. You see that wall? You don't need a TV on that wall, but you could. Why not? And then you can put in this area just like a sofa that folds out, like a full-on, not a futon, but like a full-on, fold-out, huge queen size fold-out bed. And so that's an option for you guys. And then let's see another one. The backyard looks pretty nice. There's no pool, and so you're not gonna get that 10K, but the numbers look good. You can make probably $500 to $1,500 a month in cash flow, and that's awesome. I'm telling you guys, if you're trying to get long-term rentals right now, cash flow is not going to happen unless you guys are doing a buy, renovate, rehab, and refinance and repeat home. If you're going to live in it and renovate it while you live in it and rent out the other rooms to people that don't mind you renovating it while you live in it, and or unless you go to distressed properties and totally flip it and then try to sell it / rent it at the same time to see which one happens. I mean, the idea of just buying a normal home in Dallas and renting it for cash flow is not going to happen. Like, it's just not. I look at these deals all the time. I wish that would be cool. They might happen soon, but not yet. Okay, let's look at this guy. This is $214 per square foot. Uh-oh, that's pretty scary. To get that $2.14 per square foot for a rental is not very likely. So be careful with this one. It has low square footage though. That's why it's so high, because it's still trying to hit that 400 to 500 price point, but it has less square footage. So because of that, that's why it's like that. But this is why it's on my list, is because I still think for $450 it can make around $5,000 a month, and you're saving yourself $50,000 from the other homes in the area. So for that extra $50,000, you can take this backyard and you can make it look pretty badass. You can do an above ground pool with some hot tubs and make a big step up deck and make it look really sick with some big trees like that, like my friend Ray did. And $50,000 will allow you to do that. This whole area right over here will be a cool pergola. And then you have a cool sitting area with a lot of plants. And so if this is something that you'd be willing to do, put some effort into the backyard and you like doing that stuff, this could work. But the numbers don't make the most sense. We have two more deals. And these two deals are the ones I'm really excited about as well. For those people that are wanting to maximize your growth in Frisco and maximize the most money that you can on Airbnb, these are the ones, these last two for you. And so these both, they're all 4 bedrooms. This one is 2,600 square feet, and it is coming in at $219 per square foot. High. It's going to be very difficult to rent this anytime soon and for long term and make good cash flow. But you know what it does have, apart from great curb appeal, is it's got a pool. And so when Frisco properties have pools, they tend to rent way higher and they tend to go on Airbnb way higher. This is a very pool centric area of Dallas. So if you don't have a pool, you can't maximize. So I put this more in that $7,000 range, $7,000 a month range. So when you're looking at this price of a home and you're making $7,000, you could hit $10,000 some months, then it starts to make a lot more sense. The backyard, this area right here, it's pretty killer. It's very marketable. Like, who wouldn't want to stay at something like this if you jazz it up? Put some those bulb lights all over the place, string lights. The rooms, they have nicer carpet. They still have the popcorn ceilings, unfortunately, so you have to get rid of those for maximizing profits, because people see that on Airbnb and they think it's just an old gross house. So now you have to invest in that. The rooms aren't white, the walls aren't white. You might not have to do anything. You could just keep it like that, but who likes brown either? And who likes this weird vanilla, like weird color? It's like, ew. But if you see here, there needs to be a little bit of renovations on the property. These glass things, these just flat square glass with those bulbs, same thing from the other listing, just replace those. They're not that expensive to replace mirrors. It's not that expensive to replace these lights right up here, those bulb. Same thing with this, it's more of like a boob light. Get rid of your boob lights, just put in a fan. But the hardwoods look really nice. And unfortunately, this is going to be a single bedroom room, or single bedroom. You could try to fit two in there, facing long ways, but I don't think it's long enough width-wise to do that. So this might just be a single bed. This one you can fit two beds in, and so now we're at 3 beds, which is pretty solid. Cool idea on making this wood to try to match this, but it's not the same stain, so that kind of makes it look cheap. Again, I don't know what's up with this color. Why did they choose that color? Get rid of these bulbs, replace them. If you have the budget, I mean, really all you need to do is do 2 of the ovals. 2 ovals, one right here and one right here, and then you're set. Those aren't too expensive, but this big square, huge square mirror thing doesn't work unless you can somehow make a frame. Unless you're handy and you can make a frame around this thing and make it look nice, that could work. But this is a great way to make your listing look cheap, is keep those long square mirrors. Huge master bedroom though. Like, why do you need all that space? I don't know, but you can put in there a big king size bed, and then on each side end tables, lights, all sorts of cool stuff. Change that wall painting though. That is making it look weird and old. At the end of the bed, you could put over here on this side some kind of fold out futon, and then maybe even on the wall, on this wall that you're not seeing, you can put yourself a big old TV screen and maybe like a fold out sofa under it. And so therefore you can fit another bed, so bed to bed. So you can basically have 2 beds in there, but not make it look like 2 beds. It just looks like it's a couch. This is sad. I mean, who does that? I feel bad for the people that live there. And what's with this multicolored leather? Come on. Anyways, I think this is the upstairs area. And so upstairs areas are always great for big screen TVs, and then sitting areas for games. And like, I would say keep all the party, food, dining all downstairs, and all the TV watching, living upstairs. So this sofa right here should be a fold out into a bed, and then maybe a chair over here and a chair over here, and like a big TV, like an 85-inch TV, and maybe with a sound bar. But most people are too dumb to do sound bars, so then you're going to always be asking questions or answering questions on how you make it work. It's sad they didn't even paint this. Like they're trying to sell this place and they just didn't even paint. It's weird. It's just white paint, so cheap. This looks like shiplap. That's really strange to have shiplap in one of the bedrooms, but Chip and Joanna, maybe two beds. I don't know. Oh, they have themselves a fish tank. And try to see. They probably don't want to move that thing, so you can probably see if you can buy that with the house, save yourself some money, and just have yourself a nice fish tank. And paint it to whatever. If you don't want black, you paint it white or whatever it matches what you're trying to do. Downstairs, this whole living area, I would just turn it into a big old table, just like the other one. Try to do a 12 top. If you can't, do a 10 top. But just try to be a big old rug, big boom rug, not this rug, but like a big, like wow, look at that rug. And then a big old table. Maybe even replace the fan because the fan looks pretty cheap. Yeah, same thing, just do some kind of circular thing. Make sure this matches your other decor. And that looks pretty gross. I mean, it's that fake marble. I don't think that would make sense for you to replace that. I would just find a way to make it look nicer. That sucks. Cabinets, that whole wood with that dark thing, doesn't really work anymore. That was very 90s. You could try to paint these, try to make them white, or I don't know. You can paint these white and it's like a navy blue. Whatever. Use your creativity. I'm not here to tell you what to do with design. Yeah, another great table option. And there you go. There's the house. I think you can make, if you guys put some money into it, fine. Remember, I was talking a lot, but it does have a pool. But you can make 5 to 7 pretty easy. 7 is probably where I'd think it's at, and then maybe 10 if you really make it look nice and you do a great job with the property. This is the last one of the day. Thank you so much for staying with us. Let's see. Oh, we got some comments. Oh, okay. I will respond to all these comments in just a second, as we're going to do one last house, and then I'm going to sit here and just answer all your comments live. And so this is the last one. It needs some love though. The last one you can renovate it for less than 10,000, maybe less than 5,000, and you can make it look really nice, or you can make it look nice enough. Whereas this one, you're gonna have to put a little bit of money into it. And the problem is it's already at $228 per square foot, which if you're gonna try to rent this out in Frisco, yeah, I mean, you can do it with the pool. This one has a pool, but you're gonna have to put a lot of cash into it as well. And so it depends on how good of a contractor you have and resources you have. But it is 2,400 square feet. It's $555,000. Let's go through it. There we go. Listing agent, what are you doing with these pictures? What the hell? But this backyard, if you were to fix up the pool, right now it has that like sandy, muddy, aquamarine, but if you make it look really nice and pretty, and you do some sunset pictures with this, with these palm trees and all these cool trees back here, and you have some cool lighting, like you do some kind of spot lighting on these trees, and then you have some cool lighting around the pool. Again, talk to my friend Luis Perez about that. It's his birthday today, so give him a shout out if you guys need that resource. But this picture alone right here can get you $10,000 or $7,000 probably, but maybe $10,000 on Airbnb with this boom if you do this right. You have a good photographer and you make it look good. Sunset photos. This is done from a phone, so this looks decent, but it's done from a phone, and I don't even think it's a good phone, and it's done from a high perspective. You gotta come down to like your waist, and this will look a lot nicer, especially at sunset. And they need to clean the pool. And so you can already do some love in the backyard. In here, what is going on here? Who puts a TV up there? You're just watching TV like this. Oh my God. But no, don't do that. Just like I said in the other homes, turn this into a long 12 top area, hang out, dining, go outside, come in, talk, hang out. That's what I do in my properties. They do very well. Um, yeah, get rid of that rug. That whole carpet on the stairs thing, just get rid of that. Just resand, restain the wood. People obviously voted for Donald Trump, as you can see. Maybe paint the banister. That wood white combo is not good anymore. Two tone, you can paint this white because that two tone wood is not working either. Hey, they took a picture with the fan on. Man, uh, this this is a weird color clash. Like, what a strange thing. You probably won't have enough money in your budget to replace all the granite, so you might want to just paint all these cabinets white and then replace this thing. What the what the hell? Popcorn ceilings. It's a '90s property probably, so popcorn ceilings. Try to buy it with a refrigerator in it. That's a somewhat expensive refrigerator, probably 1,500 to 2,000 if you're going to buy it now. Those ones. Let's try to buy that with the property, save yourself some money. Same thing they're doing here. Give yourself a lot of room for seating. Slow down. What is going on here? Whoops. I had it on slideshow. Okay. This person has a certain taste, and good for them. This is not the taste that you're going for on your Airbnb. This flooring is just rough. I mean, what is going on with this flooring? And so you're gonna have to cover this flooring up as much as possible. Possibly even put a layer of carpet over it, and then put a big old rug to cover up as much as possible. Like, go find the biggest rug you can and put it on top, and then you can put some bed furniture. This is very difficult to match the rest of the house. You want to have all your beds somewhat the same, and so if you go with this style, this is very much like, boom, that's this style, and you're like hiding this tiny little fan above it, which is weird. What's the point in having a fan at that point? Just take the fan down. But if you're going to go with this design, then go for it. But you're going to have to be buying a lot of expensive furniture. This old wood style, thick, heavy wood with a leather back. If you're going to do that in all the rooms for all the beds, it's going to get really pricey really quick. So modern, minimalistic is the way to go if you want to save yourself some money. If you want to try to make top dollar on Airbnb though, then maybe you want to do this, but you're going to spend a lot of money to do these sets. This is an interesting room. I hope they don't consider this a bedroom, but a sitting room. Maybe put yourself some, I don't know, people that come into town. Maybe you put yourself a blackjack table there or a poker table and turn this into like a poker room. Get rid of that wallpaper immediately. What's going on? No, and then paint these white. But get rid of that wallpaper. And this floor is crazy. Put a bunch of white, fluffy rugs and stuff, like faux animal fur rugs. Just cover up as much as is possible. Ugh. And these bulbs need to go immediately. Man, what is up with this? This light needs to go as well. Doesn't mix with anything in there. Just really rip out all this stuff. All this, what? No, get rid of all this stuff. But yeah, so it's going to take a lot of popcorn ceilings, walls, painting, replacing. I mean, we're talking a good $10, $15, $20,000 in renovation, fix the backyard. But in the end, you don't have to do much with the backyard. With the other properties, you don't have to renovate as much, but you still have to put about $30,000 in the backyard. This one, you won't have to put that in the backyard. We might have to put in the property. So it kind of all balances out anyways. But between this one and the previous one, this one's 555, and then the other one is 577. So after everything's said and done, they kind of balance out, kind of. And so it's up to you in which property you like more. I think this one has much better curb appeal. Personally, I would buy this one over the other one. If you guys are trying to save money, then you guys can get into the real estate game for in Frisco for under $500,000 right here on this property. This is live today. This is not old stuff. This is new 7-8. You guys can buy a property right now for under $500,000. This one's 460, and you guys be making $500 to $1,000 cash flow. So this is real. You guys can do it. If you guys are needing an agent, I got you. If you guys need financing, I got a guy that can do all your financing, and we can start making money today. All right, so let's get into the comments. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to tour these and you're in Dallas, I can go tour them with you tomorrow. All I need is a pre-approval letter, and we can get your investment journey started today. I'd like to thank my sponsor, Bulletproof Coffee. They are paying me nothing for this ad. It's just I appreciate them waking me up every morning with a smile. Ding. Okay. I'm a cash buyer from Dubai. Congratulations. A lot of people are. What's the ROI? Can't do the ROI off the top of my head. If you want to send me an email, it's at sean@seanrayrealty.com, and I'll send you a full breakdown. Just send me your proof of funds. I'm not going to work for 30, 45 minutes an hour. Just for anybody, I need to see proof of funds or some kind of way to see that you actually have money and or pre-approval, and I will work with you on giving you all the information you need as far as ROIs, cash on cash, all things like that. Even showing you other listings in the area that are making this money. You can go to AirDNA and get a general idea. You can just go to Airbnb in general and just look for homes in those areas and see what they're going for per night, how often they're occupied. It's pretty simple to get a general idea of how much you can make per property. By the way, keep in mind, guys, none of these homes have HOAs. So when it comes to paying an extra $200, $300 a month, that really eats away at your cash flow for long-term rentals and as far as your Airbnb profits. But on top of that, if you are trying to Airbnb it, most HOAs won't allow it and they'll kick you out. So avoid HOAs at all costs. These homes specifically are not HOA homes. Very important, I didn't bring it up earlier. How many pillows should you put on your king size bed, and what about bunk beds? Is that tacky? Thank you, Taco Tourist. If you guys don't know, Taco Tourist is the #1 location specific for Austin when it comes to eating tacos. If you guys like tacos, please check out the Taco Tourist on Instagram. Okay, let's get into it. How many pillows should you put on your king size bed? Well, at least 4. If you have a decorative and you have 2 for them to actually use. If you want to get crazy with it, you can keep on putting more and more pillows, but just remember they're going to be thrown on the ground, and then you can't really wash small pillows. Larger pillows, they're going to be easy to take off the pillowcases, and then you go wash them. Decorative pillows, you got to take the pillowcases off and you got to go dry clean them, so that's more money. But those small little square pillows, sometimes they just come in a full package, and then you can't really wash them accurately enough after each stay, so it's almost not even worth doing because they just get thrown on the floor. And I've seen some crazy stuff happen with pillows that you don't want to know about, and you just need to throw them away and burn them sometimes. So it's good just to wash a pillowcase. Bunk beds, are they tacky? So in some of the pictures that I showed you, the rooms are super narrow, and when the rooms are super narrow, it's important to maximize the space. And so sometimes it might be good to have a bunk bed. In suburban areas like Frisco, it makes more sense to have bunk beds than other places. And there's a lot of families coming into Frisco, so you can get away with a bunk bed. And you could even get away with a top bunk being the bed and the bottom bunk being like a gamer station where you can sit down, use it as a desk, use it as a laptop area, and then or a sofa. And then you can maximize a small space with a bed and a sofa all in one area and a TV on a wall. So it's usable as possible. It's a little more expensive. The whole setup for that double area with the desk, bunk, sofa thing, it does tend to get more expensive than you just buy just a typical bunk bed. And if it's high enough ceilings, you can get a triple bunk bed, a trunkle bed. I don't know, is that a thing? Trunkle. Thank you, Sunny66. It does look like a good investment. Austin rents increases are criminal unless you're the landlord. This is true. 50% raise on any rent in any time is absurd, but they have to keep up with inflation. They have to keep up with what is going on in Austin as far as prices increasing. Because if you have a home that you bought for $500,000 last year and you rent for, let's say for instance, crazy, but $5,000, but then this year the property is assessed at 600,000, you need to raise your property rate. Your property rate gets raised as well, and so therefore you have to raise your rent. And it's not about people making tons of money. Most of these landlords are making $100 to $200 in profit per month. If you don't raise the rent to that new level, and with the property taxes being so high, in Texas specifically, property taxes are so much higher than the rest of the state. In that situation, you end up losing money per month. Now, if you have 5 or 10 properties, you're losing $500 per month. That adds up really fast. And then people that are landlords, or evil landlords, are trying to take as much money as they can from people. They end up going bankrupt because they just are barely making it as they are on the income they're making from the homes. And now they're making no income, and now they're having to pay, and it just doesn't make sense. So I know they seem horrible and they're soulless people, but they're not. Okay, are prices dropping there? Tracy, prices in Dallas are not dropping, but they're leveling out. And so there was a $200 per square foot in this area, $210, $220, $250. I can't believe they're hitting $300 per square foot in South Dallas and West Dallas. It makes no sense that the rate that it was increasing was insane. Now they're like, okay, well, insanity's here. We were heading here. We're gonna go back to crazy. Now it's gone back to crazy levels, but it still is. We have a huge gap until it gets back to like making sense areas. West Dallas and South Dallas should not be above $200 per square foot at all. So until I start seeing prices go back down to that $200 per square foot range, then we're not seeing a massive drop to levels of where it makes me scared. But no, prices have just kind of leveled out. Contact info for Luis. Okay, Luis is Luis Perez, and I will ask him if he wants me to post. I'm not going to say his number and his email right now. I'm going to ask him, and he can even probably be on a future video of mine. He can talk about lighting. And he also has 5 Airbnbs, and so he can talk to you about his 5 Airbnb journey as well. Let me get some more information, and then I can post it in the description in the future. Okay, guys, we are running on the 40-minute mark, I believe. And so thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any last-minute questions, the chat looks like it has stopped being active. Let's do any last-minute questions while I sign off. And if I don't hear anything more, then thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate the ideas for videos. I just got an idea for a video of if you currently have an Airbnb and you're worried about it being banned, how do you transition it to a long-term rental? I'll do a video on that next. And if you guys have any other questions or any other comments / video ideas, I'm way open to answering your questions and doing a full long format on it. This one was a question by my buddy Nick Capps. He was one of my first Airbnb investors a few years ago, and now he wants to transition to long-term rentals. And so I'll do that for him. If you guys have any videos, I'll make those videos for you as well. It says here, Tracy, thanks by the way for always watching, Tracy. Get Lewis on, we need help with lighting. Cool. I will talk to him today. It's his birthday. We're gonna go on Lake Louisville and go to the boat. Now I'm gonna sign off and start working in the backyard of my new Airbnb investment in Dallas. It's a beautiful property, and I can't wait to show it to you guys whenever it's done. And I'm going to be basically tilling up the backyard, flattening it so I can put raised beds for really cool plants. And so wish me luck. It's going to be a long day in the sun. I don't want to do it. But then after that, we get to go on the boat, so cool. All right, guys, thank you so much, and I will talk to you soon. And thank you for the comments. It really means a lot. It's when you do these, it sucks whenever you feel like you're all alone. So thank you guys. Signing off. See you guys in the next one.